Hello students, welcome to UPSC Ocean Current Affairs Analysis dated 10th July of Hindu newspaper. So in today's class we will discuss the important current affairs. Yes, these are the topics. India and Australia move to deepen cooperation in the Indo-Pacific. Modi hails Australia's social media ban on minors signal similar curbs. Monsoon has covered the entire country a day later than normal, announces IMD. Should India restart dialogues with Pakistan? CISF seizes over 428 tons of illegal coal in Jharkhand, Bengal. Ebola death toll in Congo reaches 600 as new cases surge. Okay, student, these are the important articles from today's class. So let's see the first one. India, Australia move to deepen cooperation in the Indo-Pacific. Okay, so this particular article can link with the international relations, especially India and its neighborhood and bilateral relations, groupings and agreements involving in India. In this perspective, you can learn this particular article. So this particular article is about India and Australia. India and Australia strengthening their partnership in the Indo-Pacific region. Okay, Indo-Pacific region. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese have signed an important declaration to increase the cooperation in defense, maritime security, nuclear energy, critical minerals and the supply chains. So first we need to understand what is this Indo-Pacific. Okay, and so let's see in this particular picture. Yes, this particular region is called as an Indo-Pacific. Indo-Pacific is a strategic region that stretches from the Indian Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. Today, this particular region has become extremely important because of the major trade routes passes through it, and it has a huge economic importance, and there is increasing geopolitical competition also. So therefore, the countries like India and Australia want a free, open, stable and rules-based Indo-Pacific. So the two countries adopted a joint declaration on defense and security cooperation, especially these two countries adopted a joint declarations in multiple areas in the defense cooperation as well as maritime security and as well as the military exercises and even the defense technology and also in the information sharing and also in the defense industrial supply chains. So let's understand what is this maritime security. So the maritime security means protecting the sea routes, preventing the piracy and ensuring the freedom of navigation. So securing a trade and energy supply. So since both India and Australia depends heavily on the sea trade, maritime security is very important for them. So Australia has a large reserves of uranium. This is very important. So India needs uranium to run its nuclear power plant. So the new agreement will facilitate supply of uranium from Australia to India, and this is important because it improves India's energy security, also supports the clean energy goals and also reduces the dependency on the fossil fuels. Okay, critical minerals or the minerals that are essential for the electric vehicles, batteries, solar panels, semiconductors and also for the advanced technology. Examples like lithium, cobalt, nickel, rare earth elements. So India and Australia will work together on this critical mineral corridor, which helps India secure the important mineral supplies for its future industries. Okay. So, okay, students, this partnership is important because it helps India in security, economy, even in the energy and the strategic interest. How can we connect this particular one with the Quad? Okay, let's see the Quad. So Quad, India and Australia are also the members of the Quad along with the United States and Japan. The Quad also promotes a free and open Indo-Pacific, maritime security and even for the resilient supply chain. So this agreement further strengthens India's Indo-Pacific strategy. So this particular article can be linked with the UPSC in the multiple areas of India-Australia relations and Indo-Pacific strategy and even with the GS3 of maritime security and energy security. Okay. Okay, students, let's revise quickly. So yes, India and Australia adopted a joint declaration on defense and security cooperation. The focus areas include the maritime security, defense cooperation, Civil nuclear energy and the critical minerals, both countries support a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific, and Australia is an important source of uranium and critical minerals, and both countries are the members of the Quad. Okay. So this is an Indo-Pacific region. So this is the location. Okay. So let's see the next article. So Modi hails Australia's social media ban on minors signal cups. Yes, this particular article can be linked with the UPSC syllabus of governance of GS2, and also you can link with the issues related to children, vulnerable sections, cyber security. In these perspectives, we can study this particular article. So this article is about the Australia's decision to ban social media access for the children below 16 years of the age. Interestingly, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has praised this step and indicated that India may also consider the similar restrictions in the future. So what exactly has Australia done? So Australia has passed a law called as Online Safety Amendment. Online Safety Amendment, which is called as Social Media Minimum Age. Social Media Minimum Age Act 2024. See, students, under this law, the Australia social companies must detect the children below 16 years of age, prevent them from opening or using social media accounts. So this aim is to protect the children from the harmful effects of the social media. So today children spend a lot of time on social media platforms. These can create several problems like addiction, anxiety and depression, cyberbullying, even exposure to the harmful content, sleep problems, and even the poor concentration. So online predators and also the privacy risks. So because of these concerns, many countries are now thinking about these stricter regulations. Several countries are taking the similar steps. So for example, the Malaysia has restricted the social media access for the children below 16, and even the France has proposed restrictions on social media used by young children. So many governments now believe that children need greater protection in this digital world. Even our Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that protecting children and society in the digital age is extremely important, and he also said that India is having discussions with the social media companies regarding the age restrictions, online safety, and even for the protection of the children. So this suggests that India may introduce the similar rules in the future, right? So why this particular issue is important for India is because India is one of the world's largest number of internet and social media users in the world. A large number of users are the teenagers and the children. So therefore, India faces the challenges like cyberbullying, online addiction, exposure to the inappropriate content, even due to the mental health concerns and data privacy issues. So this is why discussions on regulation children's social media access are becoming important recent times. So, but are there concerns with such bans? Means yes, students. Some experts says that complete bans may create the challenges like difficulty in verifying the age, restriction of children's freedom of expression, even the possibility of children using the fake accounts, and there is a need to balance the safety and digital access. So, therefore, the governments needed to find that a right balance between the protection and the freedom. So here the technology is useful, but it is also create a new challenges. Government today are not only talking about the digital India but also about the safe digital India. So this focus is a shift from simply increasing internet access to ensuring a responsible use and online safety and also the protection of the vulnerable groups. Okay, again this particular article is important from the government policies, digital governance, child rights, cyber security. Under this perspectives we can study this particular article. Okay, let's see the quick revision of this. Yes, Australia has banned social media access for children below 16 years, and India is considering similar age based restrictions. Concerns like cyberbullying, addiction, mental health issues and harmful content exposure highlights the need for digital governance and child online safety. Okay, so okay students, let's see the next article. Monsoons has covered the entire country a day later than normal, announces this IMD. Again, this particular article can link with the UPSC syllabus of geography, the disaster management, even with the monsoons, Indian monsoon system. So in this particular perspectives, we can study this particular article, and the article is about the southwest monsoons. Article is about the southwest monsoons covering the entire country. So the Indian Meteorological Department, which is also called as IMD, has announced that the monsoons cover the whole of India on July 10th, which is one day later than the normal date of the July 9th. So first of all, let us understand why these monsoons are important. So India is also called as a monsoon dependent economy because around half of India's agriculture depends on the rainfall. Reservoirs and groundwaters are recharged by the monsoon rains, and also it affects the food production, inflation and rural economies. So whenever there is a news about the monsoon, it becomes important for the UPSC. Okay. So then, what is this monsoons covering the entire country means here it is, it's usually the monsoons does not enter India everywhere everywhere at once. It usually enters the Kerala first. See here in the picture, so this is a monsoons, it enters through Kerala, the Kerala part, and gradually moves towards the northern part and finally covers the entire country. So this year it reached the Kerala on the June 5th and it took 35 days nearly to cover the entire country. And so the article says that historically the monsoons has covered India as early as June 16th and as late as August 15th. So a delay of one day is not a major concern here. So because then why this particular article is important is because even though the monsoons has covered the entire country, that doesn't automatically mean the good rainfall everywhere. Some areas may receive a heavy rainfall while others may still experience a rainfall deficiency. So India's rainfall deficit has improved. Earlier the deficit was around 38%, now it has reduced to 15%. There is a positive sign. But however, the IMD still forecast this below normal rainfall. Below normal rainfall for July as a whole. So here below normal rainfall means IMD uses something called the long period average, which is called as LPA, long period average. If the rainfall is less than 94% of LPA, it is called as a below normal rainfall. So this forecast is important because July is one of the most important month for agriculture. According to the IMD, some regions may still receive the normal rainfall, above normal rainfall. So these include the parts of northwest India, northeast India, East Central India, even for the Eastern Peninsula. Okay, so July is the peak sowing season for many crops like rice, pulses, cottons, and good rainfall in July improves the agriculture production, also supports the rural economy, and also controls the food inflation. So therefore, poor rainfall can affect the entire economy. Here, the biggest lesson, what the UPSC perspective, the takeaway we need to take here, it is monsoon is not just a weather event. It is an economic event because it affects agriculture, food prices, water resources, hydropower, even the rural employment and the GDP growth. Okay. Okay, students, again, this is one of the important article which you need to learn. Okay, from today's current affairs. So let's have a quick revise. Southwest monsoons covered the entire country on July 10th, one day later than normal. IMD has forecast below normal rainfall for July, and below normal rainfall means less than 40% of long period average, and monsoon is crucial for kharif agriculture, water security and for the food production. Okay. Okay, students, let's go for the next article. Yes, this is one of the important editorial in today's current affairs. Should India restart the dialogue with Pakistan? Okay, so this particular article can link with the international relations. India and its neighborhood relations, India-Pakistan relations, especially under the internal security and terrorism perspective, we can study this particular article. And the article discusses an important question here. Should India restart the dialogue with Pakistan? So India and Pakistan have not had a proper bilateral dialogue since 2016 after the terrorist attacks in Pathankot and Uri. So recently, some former diplomats and experts have again started debating whether the both countries should resume talks. So over the last decade, relations between India and Pakistan have remained tense because of this cross-border terrorism, Pulwama attack. Terrorism, especially the Pulwama attack, Pahalgam attack, lack of trust between the two countries. Because of these issues, official dialogue has almost stopped. So what this argument, there are favor argument, what the supporters, let's write like this, supporters versus opponents. Okay. Uh, so here the favors or the supporters talking about it, some experts especially saying even if the relations are bad, countries should keep talking, is because India and Pakistan are the neighboring countries, having nuclear powers and facing some common challenges. So dialogue can help in reducing misunderstandings, managing crisis, avoiding the military escalations and building confidence. So their argument is like talking does not mean agreeing with everything, it simply means keeping communication channels open. Like they're giving some examples, like some experts point out that India has previously held discussions even with the Pakistani military leaders and even the military governments and other difficult governments around the world. So they argued that diplomacy often requires talking even with the countries with whom the relations are poor. That is what the supporters are saying. On the other hand, the arguments against the opponents are talking is like some other experts are strongly disagreeing that they are saying dialogue should not happen unless Pakistan take concrete action against the terrorism, because their concerns are terror camps still exists, terror groups continues to operate, and the Pakistani militancy still has a major influence on the policy. So according to this view, talks without actions against terrorism is send the wrong message. This is what the supporters versus opponents are talking in this particular according to this editorial. But what is this India's current position is, India's position in the recent years has been very clear. It is saying that especially terror and talks cannot go together. Terror and talks cannot go together. So this is India's position right now. India has repeatedly said that the meaningful dialogue can happen only if the Pakistan takes credible action against the terrorism. Okay, so are there any areas where both countries can still cooperate? Means yes. Even during the difficult times, some experts suggested the limited cooperation is in the areas especially like climate change, air pollution, water management, even for the humanitarian issues. These are called as a functional issues because where cooperation benefits both the countries, right? So this debate is actually about balancing two important goals. One is the security, that is prevent terrorism and also protecting the national interest. At the same time, the diplomacy, where keeping communication channels open, avoid the unnecessary escalation. So there is no easy answer, where countries often need both because strong security measures and smart diplomacy would be the reason, right? So what about your opinion, students? Please comment, should India restart the dialogue with Pakistan? What's your opinion? Please drop your answer in the comment box. Okay. Okay, let's go for the next article. Before that, let's have a quick revision of this particular editorial. Yes, official dialogue has largely remained suspended since 2016. India maintains that talks and terror cannot go together between India and Pakistan. And the dialogue supporters argue for the crisis management and regional stability. Even opponent sides cross-border terrorism and the trust deficit. Okay. So, okay, students, let's go for the next article. CISF seizes over 428 tons of illegal coal in Jharkhand, Bengal. Again, this particular article can link with the UPSC syllabus of economy, not just economy, even with the environmental degradation, mining sector and the mineral governance. In this perspectives, we can study this particular article. Here, the article is about the CISF's crackdown on the illegal coal mining. Illegal coal mining in Jharkhand, West Bengal and Jharkhand and West Bengal. So the CISF has seized more than 428 tons of the illegal mine and transported coal. So this operation is a part of the zero coal leakage initiative. Zero coal leakage initiative. So let us understand what is illegal coal mining. Illegal coal mining means mining coal without permission, stealing coal from the mines and transporting or storing coals illegally. So these causes a huge losses to the government and damages the environment. So between July 4th and July 8th, 2026, the CISF conducted a special operations in the coal fields of Jharkhand and West Bengal. The operation resulted in the recovery of 428.34 metric tons of the coals and registration of 4 FIRs, the seizure of trucks, motorcycles and the equipments used in the illegal mining. So here the illegal mining creates several problems like environmental problems, economic problems, like security problems, right? So therefore illegal mining is not just an environmental issue but also a governance and security issue here. And here we are talking about the zero coal initiative or zero coal leakage initiative here. So the government's objective is to stop this illegal extraction and transportation of the coal, and also to improve the transparency in the coal sector, and also to safeguard this national mineral resources. So for this purpose, different agencies work together. Here the agencies like CISF, local police, the district administration and Coal India subsidiaries are been working here. So this is an example of interagency coordination in the governance. And here in this Coal India subsidiaries like Bharat Coking Coal Limited, Eastern Coal Fields Limited and Central Coal Field Limited. Okay. So under which law this particular action has been taken is the act is Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957, which is also called as MMDR Act. So the act regulates the mining activities, licensing, mineral developments and also for the prevention of the illegal mining. Okay students, again this particular issue is important for UPSC because UPSC often asks questions linking natural resources, environmental conservation and the governance, as well as the economic crimes, and the illegal mining fits in all these areas. Okay. So let's go for a quick revision or make your own notes for the from this. Yes. CISF seized more than 428 tons of illegal coal in Jharkhand and West Bengal. Actions taken under the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957, that is MMDR Act. Illegal mining causes revenue loss, environmental degradation and criminal activities, and it's a part of Zero Coal Leakage Initiative. Okay. Okay, let's go for the next article. So the article is about Ebola death toll in Congo reaches 600 as new cases surges. Again, this particular article can link with the UPSC syllabus of health, international organizations, especially WHO and also global health governance, disaster management. So in these perspectives, we can study this particular article. So this article is about the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, that is DRC. The number of deaths due to the Ebola has now reached the 600 and the new suspected cases are being reported in some provinces. This shows that the disease is still spreading and remains a major public health concern. So, okay students, first of all, let us understand what is this Ebola. Ebola virus disease is a severe and often deadly disease caused by Ebola virus. It's a viral one. Okay. So UPSC can ask questions whether it is a viral or a bacteria or like that, fungi or like that. It's a virus and it spreads through the direct contact with the infected people and also contact with the body fluids such as blood and saliva, and even contact with the contaminated objects. And it doesn't spread through air like COVID-19. It doesn't spread through air like COVID-19. So here what is happening in Congo is the latest outbreak started mainly in the Ituri province. Now the suspected case have also been reported in the Tosofo province and Haut Uli province. This means this is spreading beyond its original epicenter, and also when this spreads to new areas, it becomes difficult to control because there is a risk of more infections, more deaths, and even a pressure on the healthcare system, and also spread to the neighboring regions. So therefore early detection and rapid response becomes extremely important. Even according to this report, death toll has reached 600 and the total confirmed cases have crossed 1759 and new suspected cases have emerged in previously unaffected areas. So students, the good news is that the clinical trials for the treatment have started and researchers are testing new medicines and treatments to fight this deadly virus, and this shows the importance of medical research, vaccines and drugs, and even for the international scientific cooperation. Okay. Okay students, then you're asking me, ma'am, why this particular article is important for UPSC? Because UPSC often asks the questions on emerging diseases, especially for the prelims under the science and technology subject. The UPSC is asking the emerging diseases questions and the global health governance, especially WHO, pandemic preparedness and all. Like you're talking about WHO, let's see what is a WHO. WHO is a World Health Organization, which is the United Nations specialized agency for the health. Its main functions include disease surveillance, health emergency response, technical support to countries, and even to the international health corporations. Okay. So what are the lessons that India can learn from this is because diseases can spread very quickly in India's interconnected world, because therefore due to the globalization especially, so therefore the countries need a strong public health system, disease surveillance, even the research and vaccine development, and also the emergency preparedness plans are required. Okay. And so this is one of the important article. Let's have a quick revision. So Ebola outbreak in Congo. Ebola deaths told in Congo has crossed 600 with cases rising to 1759. Ebola is a viral hemorrhagic fever caused by Ebola virus. It spreads through a direct contact with the infected body fluids and highlights the importance of the global health security and disease surveillance. Okay. Okay students, these are the important articles from the today's class. So okay, thank you for listening and all the best.